I'm Casey from the Dirty Gym, and this is Bethany. She's my lovely model for the day. We're gonna be going through the powerlifting style bench. Okay, so some things that we're gonna talk about is how we get into our setup position, our different grip widths, and then also our different foot positions that we can possibly have. Okay, so as far as setup, we have three main pieces that we really need to think about. So the first one is the setup of our upper back. Okay, so while she's lying down on the bench, she needs to depress her traps and retract her scapula. Okay, so when she does this, it's going to raise her chest to the bench. Okay, number one, this is gonna put us in a very shoulder stable position. And then number two, it's going to reduce our range of motion. Okay, and our objective here is to lift the most amount of weight as possible. Okay, so our second region that we're gonna cue into is our glutes. So our glutes need to be squeezed and active the whole time, okay? And then as she lays down here, our third region, we need active legs, okay? So she is driving back with her legs, with her glutes tight, to keep her upper back drilled into the bench, okay? So different ways that you can get into this starting position, basically. So the first one, she's gonna drive her hands into the uprights to set her upper back and glutes, okay? This is one possible technique to try. The second one, she is going to put her feet up on the bench to dig her traps and depress them, and then pull her scapula back and raising her chest to the bar, okay? And then the third and most dramatic setup is she's going to do the swing through, okay? She's gonna start back, and then pull into that position where her upper back is tight, her glutes are driving through, and her legs are, okay? She's gonna be pressing through those toes. So all of these work. It's going to be personal preference here and how you get your upper back and set up as tight as possible, okay? So you can play around with all of these different things. The second thing we're gonna talk about here is our grip width, okay? So there's three different grip widths that we can possibly have. So we can have a close grip. So that's going to be her pointer finger right on the start of the knurling. And for this is really good if you have very short leverages and super strong triceps, okay? So typically benchers with very, very long arms and very small arms aren't going to be able to lift a maximal weight this way. It's a great training tool, but for a competition, probably not where you're gonna bench, okay? Next, we're gonna do a medium grip. So she's gonna take her thumb, put it at the start of the knurling, okay? So medium grip gives you a good balance of muscle usage here, okay? So usually if you have around mid-range leverages, you don't have a super strong back, you don't have super strong triceps, this is gonna be a good place for you to start, okay? And then what you see most of the time in powerlifting competition is the wide grip. So you're gonna go somewhere between ring finger, pinky, possibly even index finger on the nerve, okay? So this gives you the shortest range of motion possible, okay? So if our back is able to hold this position while we have the bar, it can be good for you, okay? But this may not be the best grip for you, depending on how strong your arms are, okay? So the wider we get, the more back comes into play, okay? The narrower we are, the more we're able to use our arms. So it comes down to where are you personally strongest, okay? And that can change over time. So what I see from most athletes is as they begin their powerlifting career, they have a narrower grip, and throughout time, they slowly widen that, okay? So don't think that you have to start with a super crazy wide grip on bench, okay? The last thing that we're gonna talk about is foot position. Okay, so right now, Bethany has a setup of her feet right about where she would squat, maybe a little bit wider, okay? And you'll see she's still driving back with her legs. Her full foot is in contact. The most important thing here is when we're looking is that her hip is higher than her knee, okay? And that means her glutes will not raise from the bench. And that's what we really, really want to not happen, especially in competition. It's a no lift if our glutes come off, okay? The second style we're gonna talk about is feet tucked back, okay? And this one may not be allowed by your federation. Within USPA, you can bench either style. Your full foot does not have to remain in contact. You can bench on your toes, okay? So here she has her legs pulled back. This one tends to suit very long femored individuals, okay? But you'll see her knee is lower than her hip, okay? So that means her glutes aren't gonna come off the pad, okay? So these are all things that you can play around with, and it does take some time to figure out, okay, what is the best bench setup for me? Where am I strongest grip-wise? And where exactly should my feet be, okay? So play around with all of these different things. And thank you for watching.
Fake it, soda.